It's good.
I'm going to let you guys go out. Warren from Ann Arbor. So good to have you a part of the Artist Project. And we want to introduce your work to the wider audiences. And one of the things that I love about your work is that you work in caustic. And I think a lot of people may not know what that is. Can you talk about your technique?
Of course. Encaustic is an ancient painting technique. It goes back to the ancient Greeks 2,000 years ago. It is beeswax that's melted with pigment and pine resin for hardening, and it's applied just like any other paint, like an oil paint. I apply it with a brush, and because it's wax, it sets up quickly. So then I have a heat gun to reactivate the surface and to start making marks and so on. But pieces like this one are several layers of translucent red wax. So there's probably between 12 and 20 layers of wax that are laid upon each other to get the depth that you see. And in fact, this red pigment comes from Florence, Italy. I buy most of my dry pigments from Italy because they are superior pigments. And these are colors, and it's actually true. These colors are from the earth. They are all natural.
Oh, terrific. So the umber is really umber.
Yes, it's from Umbria.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So when you mentioned they have to do layers, given that wax sets up so quickly, does it also then dry in the terms of do you have to wait a day or two before you do the next layer? Or
No,
is it
it's immediate.
It's quicker.
It's immediate. And that's one of the wonderful things about painting this way. It's a very spontaneous and quick process, but at the same time, if I don't like something that I've done, I can heat it and scrape it off and start again, unlike other painting.
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I also like the way you frame things. I know it's pretty consistent. You do sort of a shadow box framing with very simple framing.
Yes.
And I also am interested in the work with some found objects in it that's right next to us.
This is actually how I started many years ago. I made small box pieces that were reminiscent of the work of Joseph Cornell, who was a big artist in the 40s and 50s who I loved. So this was my take on his work, I guess, and that's how I got started. I always enjoyed working off of the idea of an object and trying to create something new from an old object. These pieces are kind of a transitional stage for me between the assemblages and collages I used to do and the paintings that I now do, because they combine both things. Although in this case the objects are becoming less a part of the piece, and like maybe I'm just using one object as opposed to
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, excellent. Well, Graceann, thank you very much. I appreciate talking.